Hey guys, Marshall from Limited Resources, and we are doing another M13 8-4 here. This pack's pretty bad. There's just really nothing going on that's exciting. I mean, Primal Hunt Beast is fine, but like you find that you don't really run out of 4-drops in that deck, so it's not a big deal. Unsummon's a card I like a lot. Spell Twine can get kind of big, but like it's not really that great. We could just move in on Mog Flunkies. Mog Flunkies might be the most powerful card here, actually. Sure, let's try that. Let's see what we can do with that. Okay, this is interesting. There's a Slumbering Dragon, which is like pretty cool, but not the best card. And there's an Attended Knight, which I like quite a bit, and I think that's what I'm going to take. Because if we're going to have a Mog Flunkies deck, then we need a lot of creatures, and this provides 2. And what often accompanies a Mog Flunkies type deck is like Trumpet Blasts, and that card doesn't look that great, and it's pretty situational, but in the right deck, it's very, very good. And maybe we'll have that deck here. I don't know really. I think taking super early Trumpet Blast is usually a mistake, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Okay, a couple of decent options here. Hamlet back Goliath is not one of them. Big Dirtle, he's fine, but he's just not what you want to be doing in a deck like this. You want to be either pacifying their threats to get them out of the way, or presenting evasive threats like Blade Tuskboar. So we're going to be taking a pacifism because it's just a better card. It's that simple. This one's pretty easy too. We're going to take a Krankos command. I don't mind a Goblin Battle Jester. It can really do a lot of work in a deck like this, and even a Warfalcon can, but we want some tokens to make our Trumpet Blast better. So we're going to keep an eye out for Trumpet Blast. We probably want 2 to 3 in this deck. We should be able to get them fairly easily. All right, so Rummaging Goblin's one of my favorite cards in the set, but Captain's Call is exactly what this deck wants to be doing. Gives us a whole bunch of bodies, and then if we can make the Trumpet Blast plan work, then it's really good. And right now we're off to a pretty good start with that. We've got 3 different cards that give us multiple creatures for only the cost of 1 card. And that's exactly what you want to be doing in the old Trumpet Blast. You do need things like Pacifism, of course, to keep things, like Vampire Nighthawks, or just pesky blockers like even Fogbanks and such. Although I have to say that Fogbank is an excellent blocker, not that good versus this type of deck. This deck just presents a whole bunch of different threats, and it does a lot of work doing that, as opposed to like the Exalted deck. I'm going to take the Divine Verdict here. None of these are particularly exciting. I mean, Dragon Hatchling's like not unreasonable, but not a card I like very much. Off-color Ring isn't going to make the cut, so we'll take a Verdict. I'll take a Battle Jester, sure. We want to fill out this lower part before we start picking up 4-drops, but you take what you can get. Old Grack. Nothing for us here. There's just nothing. Angelic Benediction doesn't go in this deck. Fire Elemental doesn't really either. I'll take the Fire Elemental, but I'm probably not going to run it. Like, that's just not that. You just want to have a lot of small, cheap, efficient threats. Like, things like this are even very good. Kindled Fury. Ring of Thune is also pretty sweet in the deck. It can give you a different angle on the later game. I think I'm going to take the Ring here, actually. I like Kindled Fury, but I feel like we can pick those up where the rings are a little harder being uncommon. Wall of Fire is not a card in the deck. Divine Favor really isn't either. I'll cut a Kraken Hatchling, I suppose. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like in this style of deck, if you're going to be boarding in the... if you have to board in cards like that, then you're pretty unhappy. I'll take a Dragon Hatchling here. Yeah, Glorious Charge. Not the ideal pump spell. You really do want the Trumpet Blast. It's just a ton more damage, but it can substitute in. Also, if you're playing against somebody who's black and or red, and they're going to be playing Chandra's Furies or Cower and Fears, it is really nice to have an answer to those because they just usually will wipe your whole board and just destroy your whole game plan. All right, there's a Syrian Spear down here. There's also a second Mog Flunkies, which I totally love, but we're not going to pass the Syrian Spear. That card's just too good. Goes to the face to get that last chunk of damage in, gets key blockers out of the way, and allows you to execute on your game plan. Now, Mog Flunkies, again, very sweet in a deck like this. There's always another creature around to make it just a straight up 3/3 for 2. Pretty conditional card, but when you have a bunch of token producers, it's really nice. All right. Some interesting stuff here. There's a second Captain's Call. I think we can pick up a second one at some point during the course of this draft if we really want, though. There's a Blade Tusk Spore, but there's also a Serra Avenger. I'm going to take the Serra Avenger. I think it's the most efficient card here, and I think it's the best threat that you can get for that kind of mana. Even if you do have to wait your 4th turn to play it, you can play that and then maybe drop a Pacifism on something and then bash in, and it works really well. Card's just tough to get rid of, too. What do we got? A War Falcon and a second Krakos command. Well, we're going to take the second Krakos command, but not very exciting. Some more not that exciting stuff and some concerns. We're passing a Cower and Fear, which is really annoying for us, but we're going to take the Goblin Arsonist because it's just better in our deck. All right. Kindled Fury, sure, but we really what we're looking at here is Chandra's Fury. Oh, 2 different types of Fury. And a Primal Clay. Primal Clay can give us a little bit of a different angle. The Muck Waiter isn't going to make the cut here, I don't think, and the Safe Passage would, except for that Chandra's Fury is quite a bit better, so I'm going to take that. Gives us just that last chunk of reach to get in there and actually finish off our opponent. Sunstriker or Slumbering Dragon. This isn't as easy as it would seem. Sunstriker goes much, much better in an Exalted type deck, not in a tokens deck like what we have here. I think I'm going to take the Slumbering Dragon. I don't know if he's going to make the cut or not, but he might. I actually like that card quite a bit. Silvercoat Lion, sure. I like it better than the Dragon Hatchling. I don't even know if this Dragon Hatchling is going to make the cut or not. If I had to guess, I'd say no. It might, though. I'd love to fill in this with more of these Attended Knights. That card does so much work here. We still do need to pick up the Trumpet Blast. I was hoping to have one by now. They do go late, though. So sometimes you can pick them up very, very, very late in the pack, although we haven't seen one yet, so this is our... We still have another pack to go. It's a key part of the deck, though. Straight up nothing for us here. Probably just going to bank this negate because it does actually counter a few of our creatures' quotes. Kindled Fury. Yeah, I feel like we're definitely not the only ones here. We're getting very mid-level cards. I wouldn't be surprised if there's somebody, or at least a couple of people in red and or white. I mean, these are very mediocre cards. Like getting a Silvercoat Lion is just lame. All right, well, there's a Rummaging Goblin, and that's not a mediocre card. That one's pretty good. If we could pick up an Arms Dealer or, something like that, that would go a really, really long way for us here in the next pack. I'll pick up the Divine Favor now, but again, Trumpet Blast, any removal are very high on our list. We'll see if we wheel this Captain's Call. It's possible. Although unlikely. All right, nothing. Guy's kind of creepy. I think we're going to get hooked up pretty good in this last pack, though, because the second pack wasn't very good for us at all, but oftentimes you'll see that switches back. Okay. Not the worst, but not very good either. We really need to pick up a couple of these Trumpet Blasts, and we need to fill in our curve a bit here. All right. maybe the best thing we could open. Odric is easily going into our deck. If we could wheel the Crusader, we would be super happy with that. A second Goblin Battle Jester would also probably make the cut, but Crusader's great in this deck. Just huge. Great blocker. Good attacker. That's a nice rip. Maybe we'll just get past Krenko now. Odric and Krenko tag team match on our opponents. Just beating down, making tokens, making them not block, etc. Alright, so Knight of Glory is good. And I think that's what we're going to take. There's not really a whole lot else for us here anyway. I don't think we're going to wheel much out of this pack. Volcanic Strength. This would be the best thing to wheel, but it's not going to. Ooh, Rock's Faithmender. That's interesting. That would add a completely different angle to our deck, letting us basically set up to try to hit Odric. If we take the Furnace Whelp, we stay much more aggressive, but we also just straight up lose to this card. I feel like taking it. I'm going to take it. It's a little different. I think the Furnace Whelp probably goes in our deck a little bit better, but I also just don't like passing him and then having to face this thing because it just destroys us. Yeah, I think that's okay. We do have some long game with the Slumbering Dragon and Odric as well, so. All right, another Krenko's Command isn't really what we need, especially since the clock's definitely ticking on us actually getting our Trumpet Blast, so I'm going to take the Blade Tuskboar. I'd much rather have more 3-drops, but so it goes. I don't want to be planar cleansing, I don't think. Blade Tuskboar is a sweet threat, too. I don't know if we're going to run all these Kindled Fury. They're not that great with a bunch of little Krenko's commands and Captain's Calls and such. More Attended Knights. And certainly any Trumpet Blast I'm just snatching up. I was really hoping we could pick them up. Sometimes you just get in a draft that just doesn't have them. It's pretty annoying, but it does happen. War Priest is going to make it. Probably going to bump this Silvercoat line out. Maybe the Glorious Charge, I'm not sure. Well, there's a 3-drop, but it's not the one that we want. I'm going to play the War Priest of Thune over that again. We're just going to be like a weenie rush deck here. Unfortunately, the thing is, we got a couple of packs to go, but the Trumpet Blast is what sets this thing over the top as far as being, you know, just super powerful card, where if you just have a bunch of tokens, it actually becomes pretty tough to win. We're going to have to lean on old Odric pretty hard. Show of Valor or Captain's Call. I think I'm going to go back towards the Show of Valor plan here since it doesn't look like we're going to... Well, we got one. That's lucky. I'm pretty happy about that. That's pretty good. I mean, we wanted 2. Don't think we'd run 3, but we might. But getting 1 is a big game. Like, that's a big, big difference between having 0. So I'm pretty happy. A Smelt or a Volcanic Strength. I'll go for the Volcanic Strength. Cleaver Riot. I just don't think there is a deck that wants Cleaver Riot. Like, maybe with a bunch of Trample? I don't know. Got a bunch of playables, though. The deck should be fine. Another Ghetto Trumpet Blast here. Yeah, these look fine. Not super amazing. I'm definitely cutting this. All 2-drops deck. Kind of like that. All right. So that's 27. We're going to need to make 4 cuts when we get to the deck build here. Okay. Yep. Probably not. I don't think that's going to make the cut when we've got 2 War Priests. Might actually need that guy. I don't know. Okay. I think this is pretty close to where we want to be. I'd probably want to cut one of these 4 drops. It makes our curve very awkward. Maybe we do just cut the Faith Mender. I can cut that or the Fire Elemental. I'm thinking the Fire Elemental might be okay just because it does provide some beef late and our curve isn't that high anyway. I could also just cut Slumbering Dragon. It's not that great. I do kind of like what it does to the board though. It makes your opponent answer it eventually, and I like that. It kind of just prevents him from really wanting to attack you that much when you turn 1 it. Let's just set up for a big Trumpet Blast. Yeah, I guess I'll cut the Faith Mender for now. We'll probably know the matchups where that thing's really, really good. It's pretty good in most matchups just at stopping your opponent from attacking, but I kind of want to just be attacking them. Alright, so let's add some lands here. We really do want early red. The early white's pretty important, but not as. I mean, this actually goes here, etc. So looks about right to me. All right, let's submit this thing. Let's see what it can do. I think we're 1 Trumpet Blast short of having a really sweet deck, but we did end up getting an Odric, so that's nice. All right, we'll see you guys in round 1.